Many businessmen who rely on the tourism industry have already lost their means of generating income. The arrival of tourists in the country came to an abrupt halt after the April 21st attacks that targeted certain leading tourist hotels in Sri Lanka.
Newsfirst delved deep into the current situation of the tourism industry. A tour of some of the main tourist attractions in the island made it clear that many businessmen connected directly and indirectly to the tourism industry had lost their jobs. Small-scale hotel owners pointed out that they do not even have sufficient money to pay off the salaries of their employees. Arugambe is flooded with tourists at this time of the year. But this is Arugambe today. During the previous years, we had a staff of about 7 or 8, but today we have just one person to maintain the establishment. We do not have any profits. From our perspective, we are facing many issues.
Many people from this village go to work at these hotels. They have been asked not to report to work. There were about 10 people working at this hotel. Now there is just one. We can't pay their salaries.
They have decided to pay the salaries of all the employees at all leading hotels. The employees have been sent on paid leave as there are no tourists. Certain concessions have also been granted to part-time employees. The effects of these are felt by the small-scale entrepreneurs. The situation of the people who own small rest houses is quite bad. They are the people who should be taken care of. Employees of the tourism sector who earn a small basic salary compared to employees of other industries earn a bulk of their money through service charges. These employees who now lose their income through service charges due to the sudden drop in tourist arrivals are facing an array of issues in meeting their daily financial commitments. The service charge is usually more than the salary that we receive. The staff is helpless now. All of our modes of income are now dysfunctional as there are no tourists. It has come to a point where we are losing our jobs. We request the government to launch a program to bring back tourists into the country. There are also many people who supply certain services affiliated to the tourism industry. This is the situation that they face today. These items can only be sold to foreigners. Without the foreign tourists, many of these shops have closed down.
We sell about 500 fruits of king coconut per day. We sell our fruits. We live on the income generated through this. Today we cannot even live. We can only eat 1 out of 3 meals a day.
All the services provided by the people in the village, including elephant safaris, spas and restaurants, have all come to a standstill. 99% of the people here live off these businesses. The elephants have to be maintained, they have to be fed, salaries must be paid to the employees. We have no way to do any of these things. We do not have any income. Many three-wheel drivers also depend on the tourism industry. The effects that the sudden drop in tourist arrivals has had on these three-wheel drivers is also quite evident. There are no foreigners. The villagers do not have any money as a result of this. We do not have hires. Our economy has completely collapsed. We have fallen to a situation where we cannot even maintain our families. Usually our income for the day would pass 2,000 rupees by now. But now we only have about 200 to 300 rupees each. There are people who don't even earn that much. There are some who are going only on 1 or 2 hires a day. I earned only 270 rupees. Taking into consideration the current situation in the tourism industry, the government announced a grace period for the repayment of the loans obtained by those engaged in the tourism industry. But the current situation is such that some of these businessmen are not even in a position to apply for this concession. We have not been granted this concession. This is because the circular issued by the Ministry of Tourism states that approval needs to be sought by the Tourism Board. Because of this reason, banks have not given us this concession. In tourist hotspots like Unawatuna, Mirissa and Ella, Over 90% of the businessmen involved in the tourism industry operate without the approval of the tourism board.
සිටින්නේ සංචාරක මණ්ඩලයේ අනුමැතිය නොලබා.
Meanwhile, the Trincomalee District Hotel Association convened a media briefing to speak about the current situation of the hotel industry in the area. The businesses of everyone involved in the hotel industry has been destroyed and they do not know what to do. Although many proposals have been made to financial institutions by the government, none of the banks or financial institutions have implemented any of these. So we hope that we will receive some concessions from the government for this.
The statements made by the finance minister to the media changes a lot when it reaches these areas. When we go to obtain a loan, they ask for many documents because many people here do not have land deeds due to the situation in the area with the war. So as a result of that, when we go to get these concessions from banks here, it takes a long time. This will cause the complete destruction of the tourism industry. Do not speak about loans. Give us a grant similar to the grants that were given during the time of the tsunami.
What is the use of government concessions if the businessmen in the tourism industry cannot access it? Is the government overseeing the practical implementation of these concessions? Judging by the current situation, the facts speak for themselves.